Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is Isaac, and today I'm going to help you assemble your in-ground action grip basketball system with a 52-inch shatterproof backboard. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your basketball system is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with your basketball system. So if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for timestamp associated with each step. There are steps in this assembly that require 3 people, so make sure you have at least 2 other adults available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen.
Also, you may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be careful not to over torque or over tighten the hardware.
You'll also need additional tools to prepare an area to anchor the bottom pole of your basketball system. So refer to your manual to see what other resources you will need. This video is meant to be a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. So for the best results, make sure to have the assembly manual on hand as you complete the build. It is also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions of this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This section goes over how to cement the bottom pole into the ground. Since we're indoors, we're not going to be able to do that, but it's important that you do. So refer to your manual in section 1 to see how to properly cement the bottom pole into the ground. For the purpose of this video, we'll use this sleeve as the bottom pole. If you have additional questions about cementing the pole into the ground, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at the number below. Take the middle pole, which is the one with the warning label, and insert the bolts with the washers into these small holes on this side. Add the sleeves on the opposite side. Then add the pole bracket oriented like this. Then secure with the nuts. Slide the top pole onto the middle pole, making sure this hole that's closest to the bottom of the top pole lines up with the slit at the top of the middle pole. Insert the hardware into the hole. It's normal if it spins freely, just make sure that it's flush. Before going on to the next step, make sure you've done the previous steps properly, otherwise it'll be extremely difficult to separate the poles after this step. We're going to seat the 2 poles together by striking each end 5 or 6 times on a piece of scrap wood or cardboard. You will have to use some force, so be careful around your toes. The goal of this step is to make sure that the poles are no longer than 83.5 inches. If the poles are longer than 83.5 inches, continue to seat the poles. It's important that you complete this step properly, otherwise the poles could separate during use, causing serious injury or property damage. Secure the poles together by inserting the self-tapping screw into the other small hole. Take the rim and add the hardware to these oblong holes from the inside going out in this order.
When tightening this hardware, make sure the hardware rests on the outer edge of the oblong holes and the rubber spacer only bulges slightly.
Place the plastic guard, oriented like this, onto the rim. Then place the rim on the front of the backboard, making sure the bolts go through the circular holes. Then secure the hardware. When tightening this hardware, make sure you have a wrench on the head of the bolt, otherwise the T-nut will come loose when tightening. Insert the U-bolt into the bracket oriented like this. Then insert the U-bolt through the oblong holes on the backboard. Flip the backboard over and add the jam nuts all the way down the threads of the U-bolt. Then add the springs. Add the retainer plate oriented like this. Then secure with the nuts. Only tighten this hardware until the rim doesn't wobble. Flip the backboard over and add the backboard brackets to these locations here, oriented like this, and add the hardware. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. This hardware pack comes with a few similar bolts. For this step, you'll be using the longer bolt. Next, we're going to attach the short extension arms to the backboard brackets. This step may be easier if you use the threads at the end of the bolt to clear the excess powder coating in the backboard brackets. The extension arms will go in between the backboard brackets. Make sure to add a spacer in between the extension arms. Attach the long extension arms to these holes in the backboard brackets, making sure the two holes that are closer together go away from the backboard. Add this hardware to the top hole on the backboard bracket. Now go back and tighten all of the hardware. When tightening the hardware on the extension arms, only tighten until the bolt is flush with the end of the nut. Add the counterbalance springs to this bolt. Line up these holes in the lower extension arms with these holes in the pull and secure the hardware. making sure that the pole bracket is facing up. Make sure to add a spacer in between the extension arms and the pole, and only tighten the hardware until the bolt is flush with the end of the nut. With the help of another person, line up these holes in the short extension arms with these holes in the pole and secure the hardware. Place the lock tab on top of the trigger, oriented like this. Then secure the hardware. Then place the spring onto this tab. Place the trigger assembly into the handle, making sure the lock tab rests in this notch. Take the outer tube and remove the inner channel. Place the trigger assembly onto the outer tube, making sure the lock tab rests in this notch. Then secure the handle in place by adding the bolts to the holes on the back side. Add the bushing to this end of the outer tube, making sure the nub in the bushing lines up with the hole in the tube. On the inner channel, wipe away any excess grease in this channel. Add the height adjustment sticker to the groove that you just cleaned, making sure the 10-foot mark is at the bottom. Squeeze the trigger, then add this end of the inner channel into the bushing, making sure these notches are facing up. Release the trigger, then pull on the inner channel until it locks into place. Add the channel stop to this end of the outer tube, making sure it's oriented like this. Line up the hole at the bottom of the inner channel with this hole in the pole bracket and secure the hardware. Be careful not to over-tighten this hardware. Line up this hole in the outer tube with these holes in the extension arms and secure the hardware. You may need to activate the trigger to get the holes to line up. Make sure to add a spacer in between the extension arms and outer tube. Now add this hardware to these holes on the short extension arms. While someone activates the trigger, move the backboard to its highest height setting. With the closed end of a wrench, pull the springs to the hardware that you just added. Now remove the plastic film from the backboard. Place the center frame pad onto the backboard, oriented like this, and secure the hardware. Then add the corner frame pads, keeping in mind it will overlap the center frame pad. Before continuing, make sure you follow the next steps exactly, otherwise your poles may be rendered unusable and you will have to contact customer service to purchase replacement poles. With the help of at least 2 other people, lift the system onto the bottom pole, making sure the hole at the bottom of the middle pole lines up with the slit at the top of the bottom pole. While they continue to hold the pole, add the hardware to the hole that lines up with the slit. It's normal if it spins freely, just make sure that it's flush. Next, we're going to seat the middle pole to the bottom pole. You'll do this by adding a block onto the top of the pole and striking it 5 or 6 times with a mallet. The goal of this step is to cover the slit on the bottom pole. If you're unable to do so, do not continue and please contact customer service. Now add the pole cap to the top of the pole. Now secure the poles together by inserting the self-tapping screw into the other hole at the bottom of the middle pole. Attach the net to the rim by threading the large loops onto the hooks. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime in-ground action grip basketball system with a 52-inch shatterproof backboard. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other amazing products at lifetime.com.